Hello, my name is Lucas Zamora. I'd like to formally thank Shelby for agreeing to be my partner on this project. As you have probably already heard in her presentation, in which we've collaborated, she spoke on the ideals of code switching, which is undoubtedly an important topic considering the circumstances today. Code switching is prevalent here in the Rio Grande Valley and all over the world, basically. I appreciate your time, Shelby, and I'm just going to go ahead and piggyback off of what has already been said. Most notably, the topic of Spanglish, as you can see here by my presentation. Now, it is no secret that the Rio Grande Valley experiences code switching. Whether it be in the workplace or school or even at home, different dialects have been melded together to form a union of diverse sentences. Absent of language at its purest form, code switching I discussed to you today is Spanglish, of course. Alright, now the questions that I aim to answer through this is obviously its origins, the origins of Spanglish. Is Spanglish indeed a language, and the effects of Spanglish over time? Now, according to the origin, you can trace the origin back probably several centuries. Most notably, Spanglish is believed to have been a result of the Treaty of Guadalupe, signed in 1848. This, of course, happened after the Great War, in which Texas wanted to separate itself from Mexico. Mexico's defeat at the hands of Texas meant that suddenly the border shifted. Now we have, in effect, Mexican citizens living in an area that is no longer Mexico because Texas conquered the land. So they had a choice to make. Do they move back to Mexico? Do they shift with the border? Or do they remain where they are? And as a result, this clash of culture led to a clash of language. This ultimately trickled down to us, and now we hear phrases like el otro día fui al mall, or vamos a parquear el carro. Alright, now parquear is not the purest form of the word. Obviously, it's a loose translation. Rather, estacionar is the correct Spanish form of the word. In addition, carro is not the purest translation of the word car. Rather, automobile or coche are correct and acceptable terms. Now, all this leads to whether or not we believe Spanglish is a language. From my perspective, and this is just the opinion of one person, I would argue that Spanglish is indeed its own language. Shelby did an eloquent job speaking on Spanglish and giving examples of several different iterations of this code switch, and she also provided many sources that evidently prove Spanglish could indeed be its own language. Now, I believe it's a hybrid blend of English and Spanish, and that's actually more renowned than it is just my belief. It is served as a bridge between the language barrier that divides us. Obviously, it's most prevalent in the Rio Grande Valley, but it also stretches upwards into San Antonio. As previously stated, you can look back into your history books to the 1800s as the original origins of Spanglish. So that will inevitably lead to this third and final topic, the effects of Spanglish. Now, Spanglish, in my opinion, and this is just me being opinionated, I believe it is killing Spanish as a pure language because it incorporates shards of English into its vernacular, as previously stated. While we have broken ground on a blended language, Spanish in its purest form suffers as a result. It has been widely recognized as a progressive step in language, that is, Spanglish. It may not be long before you see an uprising of those seeking to preserve Spanish in its purest form for the sake of culture. Spanglish, for the most part, has manifested itself into a subculture in this new generation. And only time will tell if it will in fact coexist among Spanish, or if it will seek to supersede Spanish in its purest form. Now, once again, I do mention that Shelby had a variety of different things to say about that matter in her presentation, and she provided a variety of sources that eloquently speak on behalf of Spanglish, but also speak to the dangers that Spanglish presents to the Spanish-speaking community. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that Spanglish is indeed a stepping stone. It's progressive. I believe that it serves a very good purpose, and as of right now, I don't see it going away. It really isn't a problem in my eyes. There are far more bigger issues to deal with than this idea of code switching known as Spanglish. Far more, issues that we have right now than whether or not people speak proper Spanish. But there are those that would argue it is a problem. Thank you very much for your time. Once again, my name is Lucas Zamora, and I partnered with Shelby, and I appreciate her efforts on her video. Thank you.